Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. For today's video I'm decluttering all of my makeup palettes, and I know I say this every single video, I've even said it in my last couple of videos, that I didn't realise how many makeup palettes I had. And I think I did a declutter a little while ago on my makeup palettes and I didn't really get rid of many of them, and I just can't keep living with this many palettes that I don't use and that I know that I'm not going to use. So I decided I was going to declutter all of my makeup so I can get rid of things that I'm not going to use and make sure that I can put them in my organisation drawers so I can fit them in there and not have any that are in different places. I just basically want to fit all of my makeup in one space. So this is the reason why I'm doing this video. So if you're new to my channel and you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below, and also make sure to hit the bell icon just so you're notified every time I upload a new video. So eyeshadow palettes and makeup palettes are things that I collect. They're things that I love, and every time I see a new launch that I really love or things that get sent to me, I keep them. And I've just basically got to get out of the zone of all that and just be like, you know what, I need to get rid of things that I know that I'm not going to use. There's things that I've had for a few years that I haven't even opened, and at this moment in time I'm just like, I really need to get rid of them. So if you want to see me declutter my eye and face palettes, and you want to see me declutter the whole of my makeup collection and organise it, then just keep watching. So in this giant pile here I have all of my palettes. These are eyeshadow palettes, face palettes, and I have so many here. Honestly, I wish that you could see from what I am seeing right now because there are so many. I have piles on piles. I have probably about 8 palettes deep right here, which is crazy. Honestly, I didn't realise I had this many palettes before I moved, and I know that I say that all the time, but I actually have a feeling I might still have some left at my parents' house, which is not the best because I have so many things here. So also, please don't mind my nails. I have taken off my false nails and I just have little stumps and horrible looking ones at the moment. If you like my ring, that is also available on my Etsy store, which I'll link in this video for you so you can check it out and see where to get it from. So I'm going to go ahead and delve into all of these. There's loads of things in here that I haven't used for years, and I feel like it's probably time for me to get rid of them. I think there's probably about 1 or 2 palettes in here that I've already gotten rid of before, and somehow they've crept back into my collection and I really don't know why. So I'm going to just basically delve in, get any random ones and see if I want to keep it or see if I want to get rid of it. So the first one I have is this Too Faced Peanut Butter and Jelly palette, and this is what it looks like. I love this palette. I've used this quite a few times, but I haven't used it probably for about 6 months since before I moved house. But I am going to keep this because I love the smell of it, I love the colours, and they're just so beautiful, so I'm keeping that. I also have some of the Balm palettes. I have 2 of the Balm palettes. I have Nude Tude and Nude Beach. This was my holy grail years and years ago, and I think it's probably expired, but I just love it so much. Just look at those shades, they're so beautiful. I did videos on this and it's just so nice. Then this one is a Nude Beach palette. As you can see, I'm in love with this palette. It's the shades I absolutely love, and this one I've hit pan on, and I feel like I need to get another one because I don't tend to use some of the darker shades because I like to have brighter colours, but this is an absolutely beautiful palette. So I'm going ahead and keeping both of these because they're really nice. Then I have these 2 from Wet n Wild. This one I'm using at the moment. This one is a really good dupe for a Smashbox one that I have. Also, it's a really good dupe for the Nude Beach one because it has some colours that are very, very similar. I'll see if I can show you how similar they are. But yeah, as you can see, some of the shades are very similar to the one that's in a Nude Beach palette. This one I think is only about £6 from Wet n Wild. It is so good. I've been using it a lot recently, so I'm keeping this. Then I also have this one, which is the Not a Basic Peach. Haven't opened this, but I got this in America, so I'm keeping it. But this one is the Rosé in the Air, if you want to know what it is. Then I can also see some BH Cosmetics palettes that I feel like I probably got rid of before, but somehow I still have them. So I have these 2 here. I have this one is even rubbed off. This one is the Wild Child palette, which I used to love. This is a baked eyeshadow palette. This was one of my favourites, but as you can see, the colours are just coming out. It's really old. It's got scratches in there. It's got a broken mirror, which probably isn't the best, but these are so beautiful. I'll just do some swatches so you can see. I don't even know if they still sell these, but they're absolutely beautiful shades. So I'm going to get rid of this just because it's really old. I don't know if someone else will want to use it, but it's for me, I don't like the fact that the mirror is broken. So I'm getting rid of that. This one's the Wild and Free palette. This one is really beautiful. I don't think I've used this, but that is an absolutely beautiful shade. So I think I'm going to get rid of this. My sister does like to have really bold eyeshadow looks, so she might really like this. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. I also have this palette, which is the Estee Edit one, and this is a Kendall Jenner palette. I saved up so much for this because this was pretty expensive, and this is what it looks like, and in all honesty it's not a good palette. It's actually quite crap, to be honest, but I think the reason why I'm just keeping it is because it's the Estee Edit, and it's one of those where it was a new makeup brand that they came out of. I don't even know if they even sell the Estee Edit anymore, but I did like this. The thing is, the transition shades, they look absolutely stunning there, but then when you try and do it, they just come out like this, so you can't really see anything that's on your hand. So they are beautiful, but I just don't think it's worth the money, and I don't think it's that good. So if you do see this anywhere, I don't recommend picking it up because it just doesn't work as well as other palettes that I have. Even my Makeup Revolution palettes and my affordable drugstore palettes are way better than this, and this was probably about £40, so keeping it only because it was so expensive. Too Faced The Power of Makeup palette by Nikki Tutorials. This is a beautiful palette. Now, I loved this when it first came out, and I was using it all the time, but then I lost it, and that was when it first came out. I think I only had it for probably about a month, and then I lost it and I couldn't find it anywhere, and then my mum managed to find it when I moved out, and she moved everything out of my room, so I managed to get this back very recently. I think it was probably only a couple of weeks ago I managed to get this back, so it's been lost for about 2 years. So I'm keeping this because I absolutely loved it and it's beautiful, but I did hear that a lot of people don't like it, but I have to say I liked it. I know that it is limited edition, which is why I'm keeping it as well, because it was a great palette and it's great for travelling. As you can see, you've got highlighter, you've got bronzer, you've got blushes, you've got eyeshadow, everything that you could need in a travel palette is right here. Then I have another BH Cosmetics palette, and this one is the Bronze Paradise. Haven't opened this. I feel like I probably decluttered this before, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this because I know that I'm not going to use it, but I have seen that the shades are really beautiful, but like I said, I'm just not going to end up using it. And I have this e.l.f. Contour Blush and Bronzing Powder. This is what I'm using at the moment. This is in the shade Fiji. I did recently buy a new one of these if you watched my last haul, which was my e.l.f. and Makeup Revolution one. So you get the bronzer in there, you get the blush in there. They are matte. I love them. They stay on for a very long time and it's super affordable, so I'm keeping this because this is the one that I'm using at the moment. Then I also have my backup, which is here, so I'm keeping both of those. And I can also see some Smashbox palettes as well, so I think I have 3 of the mini palettes, and I got this in a collection around Christmas time, I think it was, and I got 3 of these and I think it was only like £20. So this one I have here is a Blaze, and this one is absolutely stunning. This is one that I use all the time. This is also a palette that the Wet n Wild palette is a dupe for as well. These are stunning. They're going incredibly well, and this is one of my favourites. And then I also have this one, which is the Spotlight palette, but this is just a travel size one. This is the one that Casey Holmes came out with. I haven't used this yet because I do have the Spotlight palette, but I just don't know where it is. I don't think it's in this pile, but I'll be looking out for that because I love it. And then this one is another one of the cover shots, and it's in Sultry. So I haven't used this yet. I think it is really beautiful. It's great for a smoky eye, so I'm keeping this as well because I just think they are great palettes and they're great for travelling as well. Then I've also got the big Smashbox one, which I got at Christmas. I think I got this with the 3 smaller ones as well in a big set. I'm using this at the moment. I love this palette. The only thing that I do have to say is that the bronzer is tiny. I wish that the bronzer was in a bigger pan and the contour was in a smaller one because I use the bronzer a lot. As you can see, I've been using the setting powder and the highlighter and this blush a lot. This blush is so beautiful. I wear it all the time, and I think I've been wearing it probably for the last 2 months of my videos, so if you want to know what blush that I'm wearing in those videos, it's pretty much going to be this one. Now you can't get this anymore, but you can get some palettes that are very similar, and this is the Sculpting Cheek palette. So if this does come out at Christmas, or if there is something similar, I recommend getting it because they're so beautiful and it's just a stunning palette, and it's great for travelling as well. And I've also got some Carly Bible palettes. I don't know if I've only got 2 left. I used to have loads of these palettes, but I think I might have gotten rid of the one that I already was using. So I have 2 of these. This is the original one that she brought out, and it has 14 colour eyeshadows and a highlighter in there. I used to love this. I'm going to go ahead and keep these because I like it. I can't buy it anymore, and I know that if I do want a backup of it, I won't be able to get it. And I've also got some Illuminate by Ashley Tisdale. I have some of their palettes as well, and honestly these palettes are so good. I think I have another one that I've been using right here. So this one is the Beach Goddess palette. This one needs to be chucked away because I think this is definitely expired. Yeah, this is 24 months. I've had this open for longer. I did do a first impression on all of the Illuminate by Ashley Tisdale Cosmetics on my channel, which I'll link in this video for you so you can check it out. But this is a really, really good palette. It's great for travelling. As you can see, I've hit pan on pretty much all of the shades. I have no blush left. I have no bronzer left. I have none of that colour and none of the highlighter, and I think it's about time that I get rid of this one. So this one is going to be going in the bin. And I also have some palettes that haven't been opened. So I have a Beach Goddess, the Normal Goddess, and another Beach Goddess palette. Now I really like the Beach Goddess palette, so I'm keeping both of these. And then the Goddess palette, I don't think I've used this before, but that's what it looks like. So you have some really stunning darker shades in there. You get highlighters, bronzers and blushes in all of these palettes, which I think is really good for travel. I used the Beach Goddess palette when I went to America. I had that for travel and it was so good. And I feel like because I have two of the Carly Bible palettes, I think I'm going to go ahead and get rid of one of them. I'm probably going to go ahead and give it away in a giveaway as well. So I will put that to the side because it hasn't been opened, so you know that I haven't tested it or swatched it or anything like that. I've also got another BH Cosmetics palette. This is the Baked Illuminating and Bronzing palette, which is Wild and Radiant. I'm going to get rid of this just because I don't really reach for highlighter palettes, so I'm going to go ahead, get rid of that and give it to a better home. I've also got a face palette from e.l.f. This one is the Beautifully Bare Turtle Face palette, and this one is supposed to be for people that don't like to have a lot of makeup on, so it's meant to be one that looks very natural on the skin. I haven't tried this out. I got this ages ago, but I think I am definitely going to test it because I really like the e.l.f. palettes, and this one is so affordable, so I might end up doing a video on this. And I can see I have a hell of a lot of Morphe palettes now. I love my Morphe palettes. Some of them I've opened, some of them I haven't, but I'm basically just going to keep these Morphe palettes because if I want to create any makeup look, I have all of the looks in here, so I'm going to get out all of my Morphe palettes that I have a lot. I went through a phase where I was collecting them, and I have ones that have so many different looks in there. So I have older ones, I also have new ones. I don't know if I've left one of my palettes at my mum and dad's house. Like I said, I feel like I do have some palettes that should be in this collection that aren't. So this one is the 35W palette. So I use this quite a lot. I think it is really pretty. I just don't really use it a lot anymore just because of like the shades. I don't really delve into these shades, but I'm going to keep it because it's really good for summer and it looks really pretty. This one is my 35K palette. So this one is all browns and smoky eyes. The 35P palette, this one is all purple shades and plum shades, and this is really beautiful. Keeping this because look at how stunning this shade is. It's just absolutely beautiful, so I'm keeping this because there's just some great shades in here that you can get, and this one's a 35O palette. If it will open, which I don't think it will. So this one's a 35O palette. This was my go-to for a long time. It's a stunning palette. It's one of my favourites I always used to go for. 35U palette. This one is the one that has so many crazy colours in here. So this is one that I think my sister would absolutely love. But I'm going to keep it because I can create loads of different makeup looks with it. I have the 35N palette as well, which is just a matte version of the 35W palette. Actually, I think I might get rid of this one because I don't really use it. I'm going to get rid of this palette, I think, because I don't really use it. And I thought I was going to keep all of them. This one's a 35F palette, which I absolutely love. And I used to love this all the time. As you can see, I've already hit pan on that one. And yeah, so that's all my Morphe palettes at the moment. I feel like I do have a few more at my mum's house. I have the 3502 palette as well. So I might just have a quick look, see if I can see it in any of my boxes. So I've just delved into some of my boxes, and I didn't have one palette that was missing. I have two palettes that were missing, so I found them. This one is the 35T palette. I actually think I have another one at my mum's. This is really, really bad because I swear I have a 35B palette, which is really bright colours. This one is the 35T palette. I really like it. It's beautiful, and as you can see, I've got foundation on it, but I love the colours in here. Then I'm hoping this one's 3502. Yeah, this one's a 3502 palette. So this one has even brighter colours to the 350 palette, and it also has the shade names on here as well. So I'm just going to show you the difference between both of them just so you can see if you're not sure of which one you'd like to get. So this is the difference between them. So they are slightly different. So this one has more of the orange and red tones that are really bright, and this one has more of like neutral shades and then a couple of really in your face ones. So this one's the O palette, and then this one is the O2 palette. And like I said, I think I also have a 35B palette. I love that palette. It's so nice and bright, but I have no idea where it is, and I ain't looking for it now because I'm here doing this declutter. So now we're getting a little bit closer to the end. I could zoom in and I can fit everything a little bit better in here because I've decluttered some of my palettes. So the next one I'm going to go to is this Barry M Chisel Cheeks contour kit. I used to love this. This was one of my favourites. The contour is great, the bronzer is great, and also the setting colour is amazing as well. So I did do a first impression on this. I did do a full review, which I'll link in this video for you so you can check it out. And I also did a tutorial on how to contour with this palette, which I have so many views on that and so many people loved it. But this is a really good affordable palette, and I believe that they have one for people that have darker skin tones as well. So if you do want to contour and you do have a darker skin tone than me, they do also have a palette for that as well. But this one is really old. It says 18 months. I think I did that video probably about 3 years ago, so this really needs to go. But like I said, it's a great contour kit if you ever want to have one. BH Cosmetics Blush Neutrals 26 colour eyeshadow palette. It also has blushes. This is very similar to my Morphe palettes. Now this is really pretty, but I don't think I've ever used it. Also, I don't think this is great for travel as well. I just think it's too big, and it does honestly look like a Morphe palette. It's just a little bit smaller. And this is what it looks like. So they are really pretty. They are nice shades, but I don't think I would use these blushes, and some of the blushes are the same colour as some of the eyeshadows. So this is not really gonna get any use out of it for me, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this. Then I have this ARIEL palette, which was from Sephora, and this was a limited edition collection that I did. I have shown you this on my channel before. Now, people have been saying that this isn't very good. They think that Sephora should have brought out better eyeshadows. I have to agree. I think I've probably used this once, but the reason why I keep it is because it is a limited edition piece, and I love Disney, and Ariel is my favourite. I think these colours are really beautiful, but I just don't think that they blended as well. Look, as you can see, that's not really much of a colour there. You can just see my veins, but I'm keeping this, like I said, because it is a collector's item, so this is going to be staying with me. That's also the same with this Alice in Wonderland Urban Decay palette. This is also a collector's item. This is absolutely stunning. I've had this for years. I think I might have used it once, but it's one of those where even if it doesn't work very well, I don't really care because I'm collecting it and it's beautiful. This is what it looks like, and you open it up like this so you get the butterfly in there. It's just so pretty, and then you get the eyeshadows in the bottom here. So that's what it looks like. So I have used a couple of these shades. Now they are good, but they're not as good quality as some of the cheaper palettes I have. And this is quite expensive, but like I said, it is a collector's item, so that is the reason why I'm keeping it. So I've actually just gone back into some of the boxes and I've found 2 more palettes. So these palettes are hiding pretty much everywhere, so as soon as I'm getting rid of some, I'm adding to my collection because I'm finding more. So I'm hoping that there's no more in there. I have delved in there and there shouldn't be any more surprises. So I also have some Makeup Revolution palettes I'm going to go into. So I have, I think these are the Iconic Pro palettes. So I have Iconic Pro 2. Oh, this one's the Neutrals versus Neutrals palette. And then I think I have another Iconic Pro palette somewhere, one that hasn't been opened, because I have these ones that haven't been opened. Can't seem to find it. I might have already got rid of it. So this one is the Iconic Pro 2 palette. This was one of my favourites. I also did do a video on this, which I'll link somewhere in this video for you so you can check it out. This is quite an old palette. I think this is probably expired, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it. Also, I do have brand new versions of the Iconic Pro 1 and Pro 2 palette, which I did get in the sale on Makeup Revolution's websites. These are such great palettes, so I definitely recommend them. They're super affordable as well. Keeping them. And then this one is the Neutrals versus Neutrals. Now this one is a really, really beautiful palette. I haven't delved into this a lot just because I think the reason why I haven't really gone into it is because it's not really a lot of shades that I use all the time, but it is stunning. These shades are so beautiful. Just look at how nice that is, and they swatch amazingly. They go on the eyes beautifully as well, so I'm keeping this because it is really, really nice. And then I've also got some of these from Makeup Revolution as well. So this one is a new palette for me. This one is the Red Velvet palette. I haven't delved into this yet, but it is one that I only recently purchased, and just look at that beetroot shade. That is stunning. So I'm keeping these because I haven't tried it out. And then these two, I think I didn't really get on with these ones. I'm going to have a look. This one is the Chocolate and Peaches. Did I like this one? I think this one might have been quite chalky. See, that is a nice shade, but I don't go into it, so I'm going to get rid of that one. And then this one is the Pink Fizz. Now, I don't think I like this palette. I think this one was one of them where I don't really like the shades. Yeah, so I don't really go into shades like this. And some of the shades are absolutely beautiful. Like this one, it swatches amazingly, but I just don't delve into it because there's not really any shades that I really like in here. So yeah, this one's going to go ahead and go. And then I have this one from Makeup Revolution, which is a Soph palette. This one is Extra Spice. I love this palette. I did do a first impression on the Soph collection on my channel, which I'll link in this video for you, so you can check it out. But this I've used so much. As you can see, I've hit pan on some of the shades. This one is a beautiful shade. This one is called Everyday, and that is what it looks like. So basically, it looks similar to this one that's in the Chocolate and Peaches palette, so it looks similar to this one, only this one has more pigmentation. So I'm keeping this palette because it was worth it and it's really pretty. And I've also got some more Makeup Revolution palettes as well in here. I think Makeup Revolution are the people that I go to for most of my palettes. So I have this one here, which is the Ultra Eye Contour Light and Shade. This one I haven't opened, but I've wanted to use it for such a long time. This one is matte, and it's supposed to be a dupe for the Kat Von D one. I'm going to keep this because I know every time I do a declutter video I say that I'm going to try it out, but I haven't. And then this one is the Ultra Base Corrector palette, and this one is, yes, this one is the colour correcting. Gonna get rid of that because I haven't used it and I just don't really like colour correctors. This one is the Deep Dive Reloaded palette. I'm gonna keep this because it's new and the colours are beautiful. And then this one is the Beach and Surf palette. I got this ages ago. The colours are stunning. I always say that I'm gonna use it, but I think I'm going to use it. I'm going to try it out. I know that some of the colours are very similar to what's in this palette, but I think this is a really pretty palette, so I'm keeping it. And then this one is from Makeup Revolution as well. This one is the Mermaids Forever palette. I've used this a couple of times. It's not the best, but it's pretty. It's called Mermaid, so that is staying with me. I have an Avon duo. This one is the Warm Cashmere Eyeshadow Duo. This one was really nice when I first started using it, but then I feel like the colours just sort of dried out of it. As you can see, it's not really that pigmented. They are pretty colours, but I'm going to get rid of it because it's quite old and I don't use it. The Naked Basics palette, which is one of the worst things to try and open. So this is what it looks like. These are actually really pretty colours. It's just very basic shades and they're all matte ones. It goes really nicely with my skin tone. I used to use it all the time, so I'm going to keep this. I'm going to try and delve into this a little bit more for when I'm going to work. Iconic Smoky palette from Makeup Revolution. Haven't used it, but I think the shades are really good and it's supposed to be a dupe of the Urban Decay Smoky palette, so this one is going to be staying with me. So now we are down to the final few, and I feel like this is taking me ages. This is actually probably the quickest video that I've done so far because I've had so much stuff, but this I sort of know what I want to keep and what I want to get rid of. So I have these two palettes from e.l.f. They're the blush palette. I think these are both the same in the shade Light. I think if I've used this one, this is quite old, this is quite a few years old. So I have used this one before. And these shades are so pretty. I really like these. So yeah, so I have used this before. I think it's quite old, but I think this is exactly the same palette. So I'm just going to check this because I haven't used this one yet. So I'm just going to see. Yeah, that's basically the same palette. Oh my god! Okay, so this is supposed to be the same palette. But as you can see, these two shades are completely different. Why? I don't understand. That one is a really nice bright pink. This one is also more purple. And it's meant to be the same palette. And these ones you can pop out, but these ones you can... Oh, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to keep both of them. pretty annoyed at e.l.f. the fact that you can't change any of the blush colours anymore, but I'll keep them both because they are technically different palettes because they do have different shades in there. So that's quite annoying because I used to like that fact that you could put different blushes in there. Then I have this giant one from Smashbox. I got this for Christmas a few years ago. Have not used it, but I always say I'm going to use it because I really want to. It has lots of stuff in there. It has brows, it has face products, it has eyeshadow, you get brushes in there. So I'm keeping this because I always say I'm going to use it. It is beautiful. I'm never going to get rid of it because it hasn't even been opened. I have a Pride and Prejudice and Zombies Eye and Cheek palette. This one I'm getting rid of because I haven't used it. I think I've probably swatched it a few times actually. This one is a Dior 5 Colours Designer palette which I got from Neil for Christmas a few years ago. This is a really pretty eyeshadow palette. So that's what it looks like. So you get the two little applicators in there. This is really pretty. I have used it a couple of times and I think it is really nice. It's just one of those where because it is a smoky eye one, I don't use it a lot, but it is beautiful and it comes in its little pouch as well, which is really cute. And then I have this eyeshadow palette from MAC. This one is a Nutcracker collection that came out a couple of years ago at Christmas. This is stunning. I think these shades are absolutely beautiful, and this was the one that I wanted to go for because it was like pinks and it was like purples, and I just thought it was nice and packaging is beautiful. I think I've probably only used it once, but it is a limited edition item and it's just stunning, so I'm keeping that. And then I have a Tarte Man-Eater palette which I haven't used, but it's really beautiful and it's shades that I love, and it's going to be really good for travel as well because you also have a highlighter in there as well, so I'm keeping this. And then I have this Eye and Cheek palette from Sleek. This one is Dancing Till Dusk. I haven't even opened this, I don't think, so I don't really know what it looks like. That is really pretty actually. I really like that. I'm going to just do a swatch. That is a really beautiful blush. I'm going to keep this and I'm going to test this out and see how it goes, but that packaging is really good and it looks great for travel because it's Eye and Cheek palette as well, so that is staying with me. And then the last things I have are some highlighter palettes. This one is from The Balm. This is the Luminizer Sister palette. You got all three of them in here. I have, I think, Mary Luminizer and Cindy Luminizer, and they're absolutely beautiful. So this is great for travel if you want to use all three of them. But I love these palettes. I love these highlighters. And this one is from Essence. It's a Light Up Your Face Luminizer palette. Haven't tried this out, but that shade is beautiful, so I'm going to keep this and see how it goes. This one's from Smashbox. It's the Spotlight palette. This one is one that Casey Holmes did with Smashbox. This is a stunning palette. It works amazingly with my skin if I'm tanned or if I'm fair. It lasts all day. I did also do a first impression on this, which I'll link in this video for you so you can check it out. And the last palette that I have is this one, which is a new one that I got from Makeup Revolution. I don't think I'm going to use, just because I used to have this and this in one of those little palettes, and I didn't really use it a lot. I used to use it individually for eyeshadows, but not as blush. I just don't think I'm going to get the use out of this, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. So I've gone through all of my palettes. I've got rid of quite a lot, to be honest, and I've kept a hell of a lot of palettes, and I'm not happy that I've kept so many palettes, but palettes are one of those where it's hard for me to get rid of because some of them I use all the time, some of them I love, some of them I say I'm going to use that I don't use. So yeah, I've got rid of, I think, quite a good amount, and I'm going to go ahead, put in here and show you exactly what I've got rid of. So I know that it doesn't look like I've got rid of a lot of palettes, but I've got rid of 16 and I've kept a hell of a lot. But there are some palettes that I absolutely love. These ones I know that I wouldn't use anymore. I do have new versions of them, or it's just ones that I do have that are new that I know that I'm not going to use. So I will also be doing a giveaway with some of these palettes that I haven't even used, so you guys can get the chance to start using them and see how they go. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 palettes that I haven't even touched, so I might end up doing a giveaway for that, so make sure that you check back on my channel for that, because I will let you guys know if I will be doing a giveaway. But I think I probably will, because I just want to make sure that these go to better homes and people that can really get the use out of them. So overall I got rid of 16 palettes. I got rid of a Morphe palette, which I didn't even think I would get rid of because I love my Morphe palettes and I've been keeping hold of them for such a long time. So yeah, this is everything I got rid of my palettes. And the next video that I'm going to do is me organising my makeup collection. You're going to see everything I've kept. You're going to see me put it into my makeup collection and organising it. And I hope that you enjoyed this video, and make sure that you give it a very big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I will link all of my other declutter videos down below for you so you can check it out. And I will see you in my next video, guys. Bye!